For 2025, I watched a total of 22 brand new films that was released on Netflix, 22 Netflix originals, so let's rank those 22 films. And in last place is Kinda Pregnant. Do I really gotta explain why it's this low? At 21, it's Fixed. The 2D style animation was really good, but just the stuff that this film does. Why? At number 20 is Back in Action. And it was just okay, could have been better, but it was still fun enough. At number 19 is Fear Street Prom Queen. As a huge fan of the Fear Street trilogy, this was a huge letdown. And weirdly felt super tamed at the same time too compared to the trilogy. This was such a disappointing one. At number 18 is The Woman in Cabin Tan. Very interesting mystery, but it could have had more. At number 17 is Night Always Comes. Vanessa Kirby does give a great performance in this, but just the film itself just didn't really land. At number 16 is Happy Gilmore 2. While this film does have some fun callbacks to the original, and Bad Bunny stole the show, there was a decision made in the very beginning that honestly kind of took me out of it, and I am sure it'll piss off a lot of people. At number 15 is Jingle Bell Heist. This was a fine holiday rom-com that some might enjoy. At number 14 is Nona, and this was a pretty heartwarming film. At number 13 is The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. I thought that this was an okay one. It was a fun addition to the Witcher franchise that is on Netflix, but the action in this was really good. At number 12 is Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. This was a pretty interesting stop-motion film. The stop-motion definitely stood out. Story-wise, I thought it was an okay film. At number 11 is The Old Guard 2, and unfortunately this was a huge step down from the first one. Still some cool moments, but at the same time just a letdown compared to the first one. At number 10 is The Electric State. I do feel like that this is one that gets a lot of unnecessary hate, and sure, while the film isn't perfect, it was still pretty fun. At number 9 is A House of Dynamite. The first part of the film was really good, but yeah, as it continued on, it just made me start to lose interest. Very interesting topic though, but it could have been explored better. At number 8 is The Thursday Murder Club. With this film, it was a fine murder mystery film as it does have a pretty great cast. At number 7 is Plankton the Movie. And this was a SpongeBob film that surprised me on how good it was. It felt like that it paid its respects to the TV show and it was pretty entertaining. At number 6 is Havoc. And the action in this film was really the best part, and it was amazing. At number 5 is Train Dreams, and this was just a fascinating movie about life, showing how life is back in the day, and Joel Edgerton did give a great performance with that. At number 4 is Jay Kelly, and this was a film that does have amazing performances from George Clooney and Adam Sandler. The story around it and what it explores was pretty fascinating to watch. At number 3 is K-pop Demon Hunters, and this was such an amazing animated movie that does have good music and really cool action. This took the world by storm, and rightfully so. I'm still not really a big fan of K-pop though, but I do like the music in this. At number 2 is Frankenstein, and Guillermo del Toro just does an amazing job with this film as it does have amazing performances from Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi. Just the design on the creature looked amazing. And what it explores, I do believe it did that pretty well. But at number 1, and my favorite film that released on Netflix in 2025 is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. I love the Knives Out films, and what this film explored with religion and politics and a murder mystery around that was just very fascinating and done very well. Rian Johnson just does an amazing job with these films, and Daniel Craig is as iconic as Detective Benoit Blanc. Overall, that is my ranking of all of the 22 films that I watched on Netflix, but what would be your ranking for the films that you watched on Netflix for 2025? What was your favorite release? What was your least favorite release? Let me know in the comments below, and follow me for more.